You are standing in a gleaming showroom. The family is excited. You're about to sign the paperwork for a brand new vehicle worth $500 million, and you feel like you have finally arrived. But this graph shows a different story. While car purchases have steadily risen, they are suddenly interrupted by a sharp, massive spike in car owners selling off their vehicles at severe losses. The desire for upward mobility and safety is colliding with the cold, unforgiving math of Vietnam's urban infrastructure. Families are buying their dream cars, only to realize they cannot afford to keep them. So before you pick up that pen, you have to ask yourself, does a $500 to $800 million car actually make financial sense for your specific life? Or are you buying a financial anchor? To answer that, we are ignoring the marketing hype. We will calculate the absolute total cost of ownership over a 5 to 10-year horizon, every fee, every risk, and every hidden monthly cost. We will test the math for 3 specific buyers: the aspirational family looking for their first car, the gig economy worker planning to drive for a ride-hailing app, and the early adopter eyeing a new electric vehicle. Calculating these exact numbers before you sign the paperwork is the only way to ensure you aren't just another statistic in next month's sell-off data. A $500 million base price is buried under taxes. You add a 40 to 50% special consumption tax and a 10% value-added tax. Then comes a 12% registration tax, plus insurance and fees. The total purchase price is over $856 million. Look at the red box on this document outlining a standard 5-year commercial loan at a 9% interest rate. On a $400 million loan, you will pay nearly $98 million in interest alone. That is money that simply disappears. A new car loses 10 to 15% of its value immediately. By year 5, you lose up to 60% of the purchase price while still making loan payments. Alternatively, investing that same $700 million into funds returning 6 to 8% grows to over $1.1 billion. Financing a car with an 80% loan means you are trading massive future capital growth for a liability that shrinks in value every single day. Millions of Vietnamese families live in traditional tube houses down narrow alleys exactly like this one. A car physically cannot enter. This creates a uniquely Vietnamese financial burden. You own a vehicle, but you can never park it at your home. You are forced into the commercial parking market. Securing a spot in central cities drains up to $1.5 million from your budget every single month. There is also a severe daily tax on your time. Every trip requires a 15 to 30-minute walk or motorbike ride just to retrieve your parked car from that remote lot before your actual commute even begins. Once you are on the road, city traffic takes its toll. Constant stop-and-go driving burns up to 50% more fuel and drastically accelerates the wear on your brakes, clutches, and engine. This official framework outlines the strict penalties under Decree 168. A single mistake, like running a red light, now carries a fine of 18 to 20 million dong, enough to wipe out an entire month's salary in seconds. And you don't even need to be pulled over. AI-powered traffic cameras record violations, link them to your license plate, and mail the fine to your house. It turns an inadvertent mistake into an unavoidable budget risk. The pursuit of automotive convenience in a dense motorbike-first city often leaves owners with less free time and constant anxiety over their monthly expenses. For early adopters, electric vehicles offer an enticing workaround. Right now, the government provides a 100% exemption from registration fees for battery electric vehicles, saving buyers hundreds of millions of dong up front. But that window is closing. After February 2027, EV registration fees revert to standard rates. If you buy after that deadline, your upfront math completely changes. This table reveals the reality of EV batteries degrading over time. Restoring your range requires a lump sum replacement from 67.8 to over 200 million dong. To avoid that hit, you can buy the car without the battery and enter a subscription, adding up to 2 million dong to your monthly expenses. And if you live in a narrow alley without a dedicated home charger, relying entirely on public charging networks introduces massive logistical friction into your daily routine. Anyone buying an EV today must calculate whether those temporary initial tax breaks truly cover the strict, unavoidable lifetime cost of powering the vehicle. Many families justify the massive purchase price by planning to drive for ride-hailing platforms like Grab or Bee, believing the car will pay for itself. While platforms initially promised up to 33 million dong per month, real-world data shows drivers are taking home a fraction of that. Many report their income dropping below the city's minimum wage once expenses are factored in. Between the loan repayment, fuel, maintenance, and parking, a driver faces total monthly operating costs up to 27 million dong, and that is before the platform takes its cut. Companies deduct roughly 28% from every single fare, severely squeezing your margins. This matrix shows the resulting break-even point. To clear those massive monthly expenses, a driver must generate 30 to 38 million dong in gross fares every single month just to hit zero, long before they make a profit. Buying a car specifically to drive for these apps means taking on severe physical exhaustion in exchange for a negative return on investment. The business model is mathematically broken. The math leads us to a single economic reality. A car in Vietnam in 2026 must be treated as a luxury consumption item, not an investment. If you are relying on the car for gig work income, or if you live down an alley and need an 80% loan just to afford the sticker price, you must avoid making this purchase. This checklist outlines mandatory prerequisites for a safe purchase. You should pay 40 to 50% in cash, maintain an 80 million dong emergency buffer, ensure your income covers costs, and secure parking within a 5-minute walk to eliminate the daily time tax. There are legitimate cases where ownership makes sense. If you have frequent intra-city travel needs, live in a rural area, or use the vehicle to transport documented business goods, the value equation changes in your favor. But for most urban families, this street scene shows the optimal solution. A motorbike for daily commuting, paired with an occasional ride-hailing app for family outings or rainy days, is dramatically more efficient. Choosing this route does not mean denying yourself a luxury. It means strategically allocating your capital toward property, education, health. True financial freedom is making your money work hard for you. It is not working constantly to pay off a depreciating trophy sitting in a remote parking lot.